Have you been thinking about getting into Forex trading? Forex trading opens up a world of opportunity for those who know how to do it properly. You can experience financial freedom and reap tremendous rewards for your trading skills. Unfortunately, many programs make big promises and throw students into the trading market without the proper knowledge and expertise to succeed. Fortunately, there is a solution. Great White FX Academy is the best place to start your Forex trading journey with the tools, resources, and education necessary to help you thrive in the market. Great White FX is an online Forex training platform that provides technical training that will help you succeed. It is of the utmost importance to have a proper qualitative education to participate in Forex trading, and that is exactly what Great White FX focuses on. You can reach us on Facebook at Great White FX and Forex Educational Academy, on Instagram at Great White FX, on Twitter at Great White FX, or call us at 234-803-930-61888.
Good evening. Good evening. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please, can you type in yes? If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please, can you type in yes? Good evening. You're welcome to today's trade plan for the 4th of October 2019 with Great White FX. So if you can see me, if you can hear me clearly and see my screen, just please type in yes. So as always, we always know we try to start with the we always try to start with our calendar, our fundamental, that's a scheduled fundamental news release for the day of trading. So tomorrow being the 4th of October, being a Friday as well, we're having the non-farm payroll. That's a non-farm employment change, and it's a high impact news. And after that, we have unemployment rate, and then like 7 p.m. the Fed chairman is going to be giving a speech. So we need to be aware of these times, and it's from 1:30 p.m. West African time. So you do not want to be in the market 30 minutes before this time, and it's always advisable you stay 30 minutes out. You wait 30 minutes before you go in. You need to give the dust time to settle before you go in so that you can see clearly. You don't want to go in when it is still dusty. So that aside, let's get down to our business for today. So looking at our pairs for today, as always, we start with our dollar index. As always, that is our go-to pair to start with. We always start with our dollar index. So looking at our dollar index, it closed with a long lower wick. And I can't see much on this pair for now. I basically can't see much because, as you can see, this trend line respected this trend line, and this zone here. So now the question on this pair is this: if it stays below its current level, you might have it try to retest this trend line. If this trend line holds, then you might see it move higher. Excuse me. Then you might see it move a bit higher. That's just what you need to be aware of. You might see it move higher. But should it break this trend line and break 98.72, then you might see it move lower. And if it moves lower, the question is how low will it move to? Well, we're picking up some areas of importance here, and here. These are areas of importance on this pair where we might be seeing a bit of activity should price, because if you're going to, for those who might trade it, because There's one thing with the dollar index. The dollar index is the inverse of the Euro USD. So if you're trading the Euro USD, you need to be aware of this, because most times if the dollar index gets to any of this level, it can bounce. And if you were buying Euro USD and you're not aware of that, your trade might not go in your favor. So this is a situation we have on this pair. But should they go above, a move back above 98, 99.19 will send this pair back up. So these are your levels in the sand for the dollar index. So the next pair we're going to look at is gold. So looking at gold, gold is still holding himself, but this long upper wick close on the daily, it's concern for the buyers, that's for the bulls. But there's one thing I've learned with this type of pattern. If it is the close of the second day that will determine if the buyers are out of steam or if they are still in steam. Let me see if I can find an example to show you here. Something like this. You see this formation here? The following day, they didn't close back below the prior low, and after that, started moving up. So we need to see what happens tomorrow. So if we go down into our intraday chart on this pair, we can see this area was a bit of resistance and price closed above it. So now price is coming down, might be coming down to use it as a retest. So you have a break retest scenario playing out after price got rejected from it. So now the question here is, if this area holds as support, then they might go back up. That's what you need to be aware of. If this area holds as support, then price might go back up. But should they break this lower end and you get a good 4-hour close below here, then they might move down lower. So those are the areas of importance on gold. That's your plan for gold, possible plan for gold tomorrow. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the USD CHF. So looking at the USD CHF, there's something here on the daily. 3 weeks to the high. This apex here still holding. They couldn't close above it. And if you look closely from this swing high to this swing low, this is the 61.8, and the 61.8 lines up with this area. So now let's go down to our intraday chart to see. So now the question is, this week's to the low, price is testing this area. If they don't close back above here, they're going to drop back down. Let me get rid of this trend line. This trend line is no longer serving its active purpose. They're just playing with the trend line. So now this is the scenario. If they stay below 99.90, they might drop. But should they move higher, like something like this, and find support here, then you know they are going to move up. And if they move up, where would they most likely be heading to on an intraday level? Well, the first port of call is going to be this area, and likely here like this. Let me just use this area here. This area here. So that's the likely scenario. Should they close above here, the next box will be here. But tomorrow being Friday, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Anything can happen, but let's just watch and see. So the next pair we're going to look at is the Euro USD. So looking at the Euro USD, well, if you notice, like yesterday, the price pulled back to the 38.2 of yesterday's range and rallied. So now the question here is this doji-like formation close and they close back below the 13 might not be very, very bullish. But let's go into the intraday charts to get a closer look at things. So Let me get rid of this. So if we look at this, excuse me, sorry. If you notice, this area here, 1.0962 has been a sort of a pivot, a kind of resistance to price. So now price has broken above it, got rejected from this zone and dropped. Now, as long as price stays above 1.0962, it's going to move back higher. As long as price stays above that 1.0962, it's going to move higher. But should you get a good 4-hour close below this level, then price may drop. So that's the scenario on the Euro USD. So one thing I'm always very, very skeptical about reviews for high impact news days. So looking at the Euro pound, the long lower wick on the daily points to a possible rally. But the question is, they've not been able to break above this falling channel. They've not been able to break above it. So let's now go down to our intraday chart. So looking at this setup now, this zone here will now be the deciding factor. It was going to be the deciding factor for this pair. Yes. So this area, that's between 0.8903 to 0.8920. If price closes back, if price should rally into this area and closes back below here, then there's a possibility we might see, because if you notice, price dropped, but dropped into this trend line, and that was what caused this bounce. So now the question is, will it break above this zone? And you know this zone houses that falling trend line, this channel. So now it needs to break above here to stay bullish. If it gets rejected from this zone, it's good. It might, most likely might break this trend line to the downside. So that is the scenario on this pair. That's also the scenario on this pair. It needs to break this, the top of this channel, to be strongly bullish. If not, we might just see further weakness on the pair. The next pair we're going to look at is the GBP USD. Looking at the GBP USD, this is not looking so good for the buyers, not looking so good for the bulls. A long upper wick, rejection from this area here. So now the scenario on this pair, let's look down into our intraday chart. Still the same thing. If you notice, this area has been an area of activity, and that area is 1.2330. If you don't get a close below here, then there's a possibility price is going to rally. So what you might just see this is a break, retest, and a continuation. Like I always tell my students, don't always fall for the candle pattern. The candle pattern can be manufactured. It can be manufactured, and when it is manufactured, you will get caught by it. You need to know where the candle pattern is happening. Structure is more important than the candle pattern. That is what you need to be aware of. Structure is always more important than any candle pattern. If you don't know where you're seeing the candle pattern, you might most likely run into trouble. Excuse me, I'm trying to sort out something on my system. I'm getting a prompt. So those are some of the things you need to be aware of. Structure is more important than just the candle pattern. This is a bearish candle pattern, but where did it drop into? Into a prior area of resistance. And it has broken it, so this may play out as support. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the GBP CHF. Looking at the GBP CHF from a daily point of view, it's still looking bullish, but this long upper wick is not good. It's not so good, but it still has a tendency to still rally to the top side. So let's see how it's looking like. And that will be determined solely by this trend line. As long as this trend line is not broken, there's a high percentage that price might continue to the top side. That's just what you need to see. So what we might just be seeing is a bit of a pullback to continue higher. So that's the scenario on that pair on the GBP-CHF. So the next pair we're going to look at is the USD-JPY. So looking at the USD-JPY from the daily point of view, well, it's bearish, but it has a long lower wick. And if you look to the left, if you switch to your line chart, something becomes very, very clear to you. There seems to be a bit of price activity around here. If you go back to your candles, see what happens. So you might be looking at a break retest setup. I am not sure. That will be determined by what happens here. So the game plan is price needs to close back above 106.95. If they close back above 106.95, they're going to go higher. But if they drop back below 106.62 and get rejected from 106.62, then they are going to drop. So that's also the scenario. That the long lower wick points to buyers being around this area. So they may try to defend it. So the next pair we're going to look at is the Euro GBP. The Euro GBP can be a bit frustrating at times. That's one of his stocky traits. It can be a bit frustrating. So looking at this pair, well, on the daily, it seems to have closed bearish. But if you go onto your intraday chart, you'll notice something. There's a channel here, and it is respecting that channel. There's a channel there, and it is respecting that channel, and that channel is reason for concern. As long as this channel is not broken, there's a possibility they might bounce to the top side. So if they stay below 117.71, that's 117.71, this level here, if they stay below it, they might drop lower. But if they break the low of this channel and get retested, then we may see them move now. But for now, 2 rejections on the 4-hour means that the market is aware of this channel and they are respecting it. So you don't want to go short here. If you do, except you're looking at this target. So tomorrow, how tomorrow looks like will tell how this pair will move. So the next pair we're going to look at is the GBP pound yen, and seems to have an indecisive close of the daily. Seems to have an indecisive close of the daily. This is a doji kind of formation. So let's look at this pair from an intraday bias. As you can see, just like I said yesterday, we see price dropped, rallied into this area, got rejected and dropped. Now the question is this: will this move down continue? That will be dependent on if this support area here at 131.64 gets taken out. If 131.64 gets taken out, when I mean taken out, you see this failed, you don't need to see this. You need to see a good close, pullback, and rejection to the downside. That's what you need to see on that pair. So the next pair we're going to look at is the AUD-USD. Looking at the AUD-USD from the daily point of view, well, this can pass for a sort of a morning star formation. As you can see yesterday on the pair, I said we see a kind of quasi W formation on this pair. As you can see, it's having a bit of a challenge here. So we might see a bit of pullback before it move higher into this level. So like always, if you want to, you could use your fib from this low to this area, excuse me, to this area. If you use your fib, so you could use your fib to see how it looks like. Then what you'll be waiting to do here is to buy the pullback into maybe the 38.2 to the 61.8 level, as the case may be. So that's just what we might see. We already have a Harami formation here. So it might drop a bit before moving back up. But should they go below 0.6714, then they are going down further. That's what you just need to be aware of on this pair. So the next pair we're going to look at is the Euro AUD. The Euro AUD, we have a bearish engulfing on the daily, but price is still above the 13 on the daily, so which still points to further bullish move. So let's see how it looks like on the intraday. So from this hour zone, price couldn't break it, then they dropped. Now the question is, as long as they stay below 1.6310, that's this level here, they're going to drop. But should they pull in here and use this level as support, a close above 63.55 will send it higher. And should it move back, then this will be his possible target, this trend line. That will be his possible target. So that is it for the Euro AUD for those of you who trade it. So the next pair we'll be looking at is this GBP AUD is just ranging. And see, it is just ranging between this top and this area. So it's easier when you know where your range top is and where your range bottom is. You just play accordingly. So the next pair we're going to look at is finally that's the USD card. Let's look at the USD card from the daily point of view. Well, he's holding formation here. And why is he holding formation here? If you look to your left, this area has been an area of importance. Let me switch to the line chart. When I switch to the line chart, you could see from this point to this point, the back account. So you could see that's where he's having a bit of a challenge now. He's having a bit of a challenge. So, but this man is still bullish because he has cleared this range. And you notice he pulled back. So now the question is, they'll try to pick out this area. And the only way you know the area has been taken out is something like this, to the top side. Once they go back below 1.3307, then they might drop lower. But one thing you need to be aware of, the USD card, during days of high impact USD news, it has the potential to drop 50 pips and turn 50 pips in the opposite direction. As you trade each pair, you get to understand the characteristics and traits of each pair. The USD card is very, very good at that. So tomorrow, if you see a 50 pip drop, don't be surprised. By the time the dust settles, it will turn in the opposite direction, the same amount of pips it dropped by. So that is it for today. I thank you all for taking your time to attend today's class, today's trade plan. I wish you all a beautiful night's sleep, a beautiful trading day ahead, and a beautiful weekend ahead. Remember, tomorrow is non-farm payroll. You don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the trade. If you have any questions, you can reach across to me on any of these handles. This video will be posted up to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel, the link can be found on the bio of my Instagram page. And the charts used in this presentation will be posted also on the Instagram page. You can go there and find it. And I will also try to see if I can post the chart as well to the Facebook handle. So on either of them, you could just go there and get the chart. If you need to place a call, you could place a call to any of these handles and I'll be glad to attend to any of your questions. So once again, remember, tomorrow, if you're not sure of what you're going to do, reduce your lot sizes to avoid situations of losing all you've made throughout the week on a Friday. So I wish you all a